You're tuned in to The Final Takeaway. We have a breaking update in the Mohameds Extradition case. Watch till the end to get all the important facts and details about the case. Here's more. The extradition case involving prominent Guyanese businessman Nazar Mohamed and his son Azruddin Mohamed continued today before Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The proceedings form part of an ongoing legal process initiated by a formal request from the government of the United States, which is seeking to extradite the two men in connection with alleged financial and customs-related crimes. At today's hearing earlier this morning, the prosecution submitted key legal documents to the court. Among them were a diplomatic note from the U.S. government, an authenticated statement from the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and executed warrants of arrest for both Nazar and Azruddin Mohamed. We're told that these materials were introduced to verify the legitimacy of the U.S. extradition request and to confirm that all procedures are being conducted in accordance with the extradition treaty between Guyana and the United States. This treaty remains applicable to Guyana through its extension from the United Kingdom under the Fugitives Offenders Act. We're told the defense attorneys representing the Mohameds were given copies of these documents for review. And don't miss this key piece of information. After hearing the initial arguments from the prosecution and the defense, the magistrate is expected to determine whether a prima facie case exists to justify the extradition of the men to the United States. Therefore, this case against the Mohameds may or may not go through, so to speak. Let's break that down some more. In general, if a prima facie case is not determined for extradition, this means the court found there was not enough evidence to hold the person or persons for extradition. As a result, the individual or individuals involved are discharged and the proceedings are terminated. Therefore, under these circumstances, the individuals will not be extradited based on that extradition request. If this happens with the Mohameds, the government has the legal right to appeal the magistrate court's decision. And this can go on and on as a legal proceeding until a final and binding decision by the highest court. Both men who operate the well-known Mohameds enterprise continue to be out on $150,000 bail each, pending the next court hearing, which is set for November 24, 2025. The case stems from an October 30, 2025 request from the U.S. government seeking their extradition under the treaty existing between the U.S. and Guyana. The Attorney General's chamber detailed that the authority to proceed was issued by the government of Guyana and that the arrest warrants were obtained through an application submitted by a team of attorneys, namely King's Counsel Terrence Williams, Herbert McKenzie, and Celine Diedrich, in compliance with the Fugitive Offenders Act. The two businessmen are facing multiple criminal charges in the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida, where a grand jury indictment was unsealed in early October 2025. The main charges include wire fraud, mail fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The indictment alleges that between 2017 and June 2024, the Mohameds conspired to defraud the Guyana government by evading export taxes and royalties on over 10,000 kilograms of gold valued at approximately $50 million. Prosecutors claim they used falsified customs declarations and also reused gold export seals to disguise unpaid duties and royalties. Further, the indictment references two specific incidents. The first one is the attempted export of $5.3 million worth of undeclared gold, which was seized at Miami International Airport. The second one is the under-invoicing of a luxury vehicle valued at over $680,000 by Azruddin Mohamed, allegedly to evade customs fees. U.S. authorities, including the DEA, the FBI, and Department of Homeland Security, DHS, reportedly began investigating the Mohameds in mid-2010, with international intelligence and law enforcement cooperation between the United States and Guyana, dating back to 2016 and 2017. In June 2024, the U.S. Treasury Department Office of Foreign Assets Control (OFAC) imposed sanctions against both the Mohameds and Mohameds Enterprise for alleged tax evasion, trade-based money laundering, and gold smuggling. Following the sanctions, the Guyana government was formally notified of the ongoing U.S. investigation through diplomatic channels. By March 2025, Guyanese authorities received a comprehensive dossier from U.S. investigators through mutual legal assistance arrangements. This evidence reportedly included customs documents, export records, and seizure reports linking the Mohameds to the alleged financial crimes. The Attorney General's chambers confirmed that the extradition process will continue under the Fugitive Offenders Act and in full compliance with the Constitution of Guyana and international law. As the case proceeds, the court will determine whether the evidence presented is sufficient to meet the legal threshold for extradition, marking a significant moment in Guyana's cooperation with the United States on transnational financial crimes and anti-corruption enforcement. The Mohameds are scheduled to return to court, like I said earlier on November 24, 2025. The court granted a later court date to allow the prosecution to file other documents. Keep in mind that the next important step in this case is for the magistrate to decide if the extradition case can move forward or should be thrown out. Please go to our channel page for more insight into the what, where, when, why, who, and how of the Mohameds' sanctions, indictment, and extradition. Click on Guyana News and you'll see lots of videos covering the story.